Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of My Hornby Hobby. So I just got back from the Greatest Gathering. Yeah, no, I can't believe it either. I got to go there, and of course I got a haul. Now these bags, they give them to you when you're going in. That is smart, and it's free. It's a free bag, and they know. So let's get into it. So there's the program, which details about the Greatest Gathering and all this, that, and the other, and then of course the locomotives that were featured. There were so many steamers, including the Stania Mogul 13268, the last survivor, the one that I drove. And you got loads of stuff, whether you bought it or whether they gave you it for free. I mean, there were mints out, there were pens, there were so many things. Oh yeah, trackside magazine might have to have the Journey of Railway Preservation. Might be worth a gander. There's also Barrow Hill Roundhouse. They're doing an event. Celebrating 200 years of the railway. Flying Scotsman's going to be there. Ginty's going to be in Steam, so I've got to go. Got some postcards. One's of an Azuma. One's of a Deltic. And one is, of course, of the Mallard. So they'll be going up. Now, in one of the halls, they had railway stuff set up, i.e., O-Gauge and that live steam, bigger than O-Gauge steam, whatever, G-Scale, and then, you know the ones. And there was also plenty of model railway sellers. And I just said to Webby, I think you're going to have to cut my card up or gouge my eyes out. So the first thing I got, oh, do you know what? I just realised something. I'm an idiot. I've asked for one of these for my birthday. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Oh well. Doubles, just in case. So they were 40 quid. And I could not believe it when I saw them. There's also, you know, those... I don't know what you'd call them. They were like British Railway teak coaches. You know, they were teak shaped. The Hamleys. So if you look there, Hamleys. And these were £7.50 each. Fantastic prices. They also had a stall of the National Railway Museum. Here, the pen. Don't know how much that was. These two pens, commemorating 200 years, they were free. I also got a Flying Scotsman fridge magnet, which was £3. So not bad on that. On one of the rows, they had 3 steam locomotives set up. They had the Stania at the back, they had Hagley Hall in the middle, and they had... They had a Furness locomotive. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was number 20, I believe. Yeah, Furness Railway 040 number 20. Yeah, so that was there. And you could go onto the footplate and blow all the whistles, and they'd give you a bit of a history and everything. So obviously we stood in the queue for the Stania. And as soon as I got on, hello Sally, my old friend. It was like meeting an old friend. It really was. Being back in that cab, being back on that footplate. Excuse me. And obviously they gave a bit of history, which we didn't really get. Sorry, let me just sort this. There we go. We didn't really get when we did the footplate experience. Just explained about the locomotive and how it was preserved and all that, and then it got to blowing the whistles. They charged £5 to blow the whistles, which you're using steam all day by doing that, so it's fair enough, I think. And you get to do whatever you want with it. So obviously, I just yanked it down. I gave it everything. I really did. But carrying on with the story, we went on Hagley Hall, and I got a pin. Got a pin badge. So that's going on the hat. Now, here's something that I am so pleased with. You may remember that for Webby, I recently did a request for him. Well, it was going to be a service, but the locomotive didn't really need it. Which is this 6606. Because if you remember, I said in that video that I was tempted to keep it for myself because I quite liked it. 39 quid, and Webby said that's exactly what he paid for his donkeys years ago. So now I have one. Sprung buffers and everything. So happy. So there we go. But that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. I got to meet the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Laurie Rose from Laurie's Mechanical Marvels. I got to meet him. It was brilliant. We just came out of that model railway hall that I was talking about. Or was it we just came out of one of the halls anyway. And I just looked down and I saw a Ruston 48. And I thought, Laurie! We got down there as quick as we could. And Laurie was just finishing up a talk with a couple of young lads. About 10, I think. I don't know. But, he was clearly inspiring the next generation, so that was good. And then I got to talk to him. I got to shake his hand. And we just got talking. And it was just fantastic. It was just a fantastic experience just getting to meet him. And he's the exact same height as me. So it was brilliant. I also got an LMN badge that's on my cap. It's pride of place right in the middle, and I'm so happy. And we just got talking. He's got a fantastic sense of humour, the guy. I just said, well, what happened was, Laurie, I slipped and my card fell on the reader. And he was like, that happens to me. It's so strange. He just has an amazing sense of humour. He's such a good bloke. I finally got to meet him, and that's me done for the year. That's me done. Nothing's going to top that. Oh, God. And I found Laurie. I'm still buzzing about it. And what time did we meet him? It was coming up to 12 o'clock, or it was coming up to 1 o'clock-ish. I can't remember. But it was quite a few hours ago. My God, it was just fantastic. It was just really fantastic. And also, I ended up getting a sticker to say I've been on the footplate of the Stanier. So I wish they'd have given us these, as well as a certificate when we did the footplate experience. There were also free stickers everywhere. 200 years of British Railways. This isn't a sticker, it's Moor Lane Models, which is where I got that 6606. But yeah, there were plenty of stickers and mints and pens and all this, that and the other. There was so much to see and do, guys. Practically every locomotive there had a set of steps so you could get into the cab. So I've been on the cab of 3 separate locomotives. So Hagley Hall, Furness number 10, and of course the Stanier. I had my photo taken with the Flying Scotsman. I got so close to Flying Scotsman. stood in front of the middle driving wheel. If you're wondering why I'm posting in, excuse me. If you're wondering why I haven't posted any videos about it, it's because A, I didn't really do any filming. I just took a load of photos. And B, speaking of photos, my phone doesn't allow me to compile more than 60 photos into a movie altogether. So once I figure out how to do that, because I've got like 100 photos, then that'll get uploaded. But yeah, there were so many Class 66s, 67s, 69s, 99s. They were all there. Everyone was there. It was a packed event. There were so many people there. It was brilliant. And what sucks most is that come 4 o'clock, that's when it shut. And there was still so much that we hadn't done. And, you know, I feel like they should have either opened earlier or stayed open later. You know, allowed people a bit more time because there was too much to look at. Blue Peter was there. Sir Nigel Gresley was there. You could have gotten on the cab of Sir Nigel Gresley on the footplate, I mean. And which is something that Mum and Dad wanted to do for my other birthday when we went to North Yorkshire Moors, which I didn't get to do. But it was just a fantastic time. I think everyone enjoyed it. The whistles were going every minute. Just they were doing a 2-tone with Hagley Hall because obviously it's a Great Western locomotive. They have 2 tones, and I got to see a hydrostatic lubricator up close on Furness Railway number 20. I got to learn about how a glass gauge works. You know which lever you use to do what. It were bloody fantastic. And I got to talk to so many people. And I am sure that Andy Miller, you know, from his TikTok, was standing behind us when we were queuing for Hagley Hall. I'm certain of it. I'm certain it was him. Because it looked like him and it sounded like him. And I never forget a face. I know someone's face and voice. I'm sure it was him. But yeah, that's an event that's not going to be repeated. I did 21,000 and some steps, and I reached 2,000 calories, burned them off. So my feet have got blisters on them. My throat is hoarse. My body is knackered, but my mind is full of memories. And I will not forget them. Especially, I got to meet Laurie. So happy with that one. So happy with that. Just let me double check. Was there anything else? No, not really. Yeah, they were very clever about these bags. Just here you go, free bag. Feel free to fill it up with everything that you buy. My God, there was too much to see in one day. You needed at least a weekend. You needed to have booked a ticket on Monday just to get in on the Friday, if that makes any sense. You know, to do everything. You know what I mean? So hopefully we'll get to go and see Flying Scotsman again. And Jamie's there as well, so that should be brilliant. Class 55 Deltic, LMS 3F Ginty. That one's going to be in Steam, I've been told. And I've been wanting an excuse to go to Barrel Hill Roundhouse. And it's close to my birthday, 10th and 12th of October. 10 till 4. Tickets are available, so you can pre-book them now. And it's cheaper than on the day, I've been told. So, yeah. My voice is so hoarse. I've just had to talk quite loudly over people when the whistles have been going and everything. It was a really fantastic time. It really was. And I'd given up all hope of going. I mean, one of our brickies at work on Friday said, "Oh, I'm surprised you're not at Derby for the Greatest Gathering." And I said to him, "Oh, tickets are sold out. I'll not get in." That very night, while I was waiting for my chips, Webby rung up. What are you doing on Sunday? Nothing. You said that wrong. You're going to the Greatest Gathering. I got to go to the Greatest Gathering. Blue Peter, Sir Nigel Gresley, Flying Scotsman, Hagley Hall, the Stanier. So many diesels, steam engines, electrics. They were all there in one place and local to me. Oh, it was mad. That was mental. One thing that I want to say though, when just before I left Laurie, I said, "Oh, Laurie, if you ever need a stunt double to do filming, let me know." And then I did my Laurie's Mechanical Marvels impression. Number 294266, Sir William McAlpine, and he went, "It's like I'm hearing myself." Oh, it was fantastic. It was fantastic, and he didn't know who I was straight away, but once I told him that I run the My Hobby YouTube channel, and told him that I own a little version of his Ruston, and he's going to be at the Whitwell and Reefham Railway, 20. What of this month? Does it say? I'm sure it says it somewhere. 23rd of August, I think it is. I'd love to go and meet him again, and especially on his home turf at the Mid Suffolk. I am knackered, guys. So much walking, but it was worth it. It was well worth the blisters, the heat. It was a fantastic atmosphere. The staff were all really friendly. It was a day to remember. It really, really was. So I'm going to be looking back on all this and remember, yeah, Scott's Guardsman was there. Bahamas was there. What? Apparently Glacier was there. You know that Jubilee? Or Glacier, however the hell you say it. Princess Margaret Rose was there. And yeah, there was so many British diesels. There was Hymex, HSTs. In fact, there was Class 43, but it had a really lovely livery that I wouldn't have minded getting in 00. There was also Sierra Leone, or as Webby and I called it, Sierra Leone. You know, it's like the watermelon thing. I have no idea. But anyway, this video is getting a bit long-winded. I do apologise. So that's it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Always much appreciated. And until next time, stay safe and thanks for watching.